Hey, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, yesterday was quite a day. Um, Last minute sort of clean up and everything for our. Let me see. Am I? Yes, I am. I have to check because I can't see that little tiny dot at the bottom of the screen. Uh, Yesterday we had a really busy time. Um, I went up to Taliban, of course. Beth handled all of the arrangements, getting everybody organised down there at the site for houses, the two houses, the duplex that we built yesterday, and that has rehoused two more families. Excuse me. One of the families has 5 children present and 2 who are returning either from Manila or from Cebu. So that was 7 children, in fact, and the other was 2 children. And what we did was we did the blessing for that. The PNP came, as they usually did. The police chief is very supportive of what we do, and they come and they always take a lot of photographs and stuff, and they have their own page on Facebook, so you can see that on Facebook where they reveal all of their details too. But the police have been partnering with us for quite a few months now and have done many different projects with us, and they, at some point during the construction, they usually send down about 10 guys and gals, and they come down and they actually do work, and it does make a difference to our project getting done that bit faster. And so we know all of the guys now, especially from Atafi, because we were in Atafi rebuilding. They asked, the police chief there asked us if we would, because of our association with him, asked us if we could come along and have a look at their kitchen. And we went and had a look at the kitchen, which there was going to be no budget until 2022, and some of it was propped up and really right on the cusp of being quite dangerous. So we decided that that was a community thing, and we rebuilt the entire back portion of the Atafi police station. And during that time, of course, we got to know everybody quite well. And so they've been working with us since. Now, Taliban is another branch of the PNP, and they have led us to more than one, along with the DSWD, who we also now work with, and they are often able to see more of the severe cases, the real distress cases, and we've now responded to several from both Taliban PNP and Atafi PNP, and they tell us about what's happening somewhere, and then they usually send along an officer or two, and they go along with us, and they show us the family in distress or whatever is happening. And so we go along there, and then we decide whether it's something that we can help with. And it so far it's always been something that we felt we should help with. And so there was another group, which also Taugama also have been volunteering and coming along and helping us. So when we were told by Taugama that one of their members, Taugama is a group of youngsters really, that they all look like teenagers, early 20s when they come along, and they work, and all that we do is provide them with lunch. Well, one of Taurgama is brother to the child Jeremy, and Jeremy has been something of a heartbreaker because Jeremy cannot actually move other than some very, very slight movement in his fingers. He is an incredibly intelligent little boy and an absolute joy to see. I always say he has the face of an angel, but he is a heartbreaker because the Chuchi Foundation, who are now about to give us an appointment to go to a specialist in Tagbilaran, and initially it was thought that we would take Jeremy and Jodel. Jodel is the little boy that at first we thought was completely paralyzed from the waist down, and it turns out that that's really not the case. And so now we are very hopeful that with the help of a specialist, and I don't know, maybe calipers on the legs or some way of helping, that he will be able to walk. And he is another incredible child. All of these children who are facing these daunting challenges in life are amazing beings. And Jodel is an amazing little kid. He's the one that Beth had a bright idea, and she bought a skateboard off Lazada, and we took the skateboard down there, and he got the idea straight away, and he now lies full length on the skateboard and pulls away with his hands and scoots all over the place. That's quite a thing to see. Of course, we've done videos on that. So we're taking Jodel up to Tagbilaran thanks to the Chuchi Foundation, which is a big foundation, not a little tiny two people affair like Beth and I. So we went to the Chuchi Foundation for help, and they have a certain protocol to go through a process, and we went through that process, giving the information, photographs and background story on 3 children. Jeremy, who is completely paralysed from the neck down, other than little slight fluttering in the hands. And Jodel, who is not a complete write-off. We're going to be able to help Jodel. And the other one was what a lot of you will know as Baby Jane. Osteogenesis imperfecta is the disease that has afflicted Baby Jane. Her name is Jenilyn, actually, but we gave her that nickname. It was a catchy nickname taken from a movie. So we're kind of stealing a little bit of the renown from a movie and attaching it to Baby Jane. Baby Jane, we have a long history with Baby Jane. Because of that disease, which I won't try to go through again, it's actually brittle bone disease, and she has to do very little. A simple everyday kid's fall will break bones. The first time that we went to Baby Jane, we were horrified to see that she had a compound fracture. A compound fracture, in case you don't know it, is where both, obviously in the leg and in the arm, so that you can get that movement, you've got 2 bones. And if both of those bones are broken, then the limb just hangs like this where the break is. And she had compound fracture of the leg, and the parents had no money to be able to take her to hospital. So that was our introduction to Baby Jane. It wasn't just our only interaction with Baby Jane. She very soon after that, after healing, maybe a year, and she broke her leg again, and we had the same thing again. They didn't have the money, and we didn't learn about it until a week later. And it's the culture. You cannot judge. We cannot judge, even though at the time, I remember the first time that I really lost it and didn't behave that well. I actually said to her mother, if it was your leg, would you have not gone to hospital? Which was unkind, but I didn't learn then. I was still acting like an ugly American. Then a third time happened where baby Jane actually had quite a bad, well, they're all bad because all of them are compound, but it went right up and she had to have plaster of going right up to her waist and down to mid thigh on her right leg, and then all of the left leg. So it was a real bad one. But we happened to be passing the house a couple of weeks ago. We happened to be passing the house, and we saw baby Jane sitting outside. So I hadn't seen her for a little while, so I said, let's stop and just say hello, which is what we did. And that's when we found out that her leg had been badly broken over a year ago. That was how long we hadn't seen her. And the bones had gone back together again in the most terrible way. So that's when we put her on the list and said we've got to do something about this. So now, thanks to the Chuchi Foundation, we're going to be able to take the kids up to Tagbilaran to see a specialist, which we wouldn't have been able to afford, and the bills are going to be paid by the Chuchi Foundation. The sad part, which is a real heartbreaker for me, is Jeremy, because Jeremy, if you look back at the videos of Jeremy, you'll see that he actually lies on his back and he doesn't move at all. We were able to rebuild his house. We were able to take out the wall to the room that he's in and put a reconstructed wall with a window and a wide door. And then we were able to get the father with some design suggestions and a wheelchair, which we gave. We gave a wheelchair, and the father is a welder and pretty clever guy. And he was able to do the suggestions that we made about making Jeremy's bed the wheelchair, because he doesn't move, he's not in any danger of moving and falling off. We made the wheelchair as a bed, and now he can be wheeled out onto the patio that we made for him. We made a covered patio. Now what we haven't done, what we haven't been able to do to date is, although we did go up there to take him a phone, and amazingly he's able to, his arms are up here bent in some very awkward way, and then healed and set, in other words, but he's able to do this and scroll and use a phone, so he can play video games. So our idea was that as he lies back like this, we'll get a tablet and put the tablet up here, and he'll be able to control it with his hand, and he'll be able to see everything that's going on, and that will open up an entire world for him, because he'll be able to see the world through YouTube and through the internet. So we were very happy about that. But we couldn't get up to his house when we went the other day, because the house is at the other end of a road which is now going to be redone. and all of those heaps of material have been dumped in the middle of the road, so we can't drive there. So we did get someone else, one of our students, to go up there. You can do it on a motorcycle, and she was able to get up there and give him the phone. That's the latest that I have on that. Let's hope that that's not waiting to be done, because I had thought that it had already been done. So, and got off onto what we're going to be doing next week. But we did have an incredible experience. Our old-timers on our channel, our old-time supporters, will remember the time that we took 23 children into Alturas and gave them each 400 pesos each, I think it was, and they went round, and that was what we called a first experience. These were all kids who were living, for the main part, in the most simple of houses, and had never been in a large store before. So we not only took them in the store, but we gave them a little allowance, and with the help of the wonderful sales ladies in Alturas, all of them got a gift of clothing that they had chosen for themselves. Well, we did the same again yesterday, only this time we came out a lot poorer, because the kids got there before we did, and had been told that they were going to be able to go and choose some clothes, and that's what they did. And they'd chosen far too many, but we didn't have the heart to take them and say, no, you're only allowed 3 or something. So they had their big bundles of clothing, and we had the the heart attack special when we went to pay. But anyway, the wonderful looks of joy and happiness on the faces was more than enough for us. And then we took them in Jollibee, and everybody had plenty to eat, and then we took them home. So that was our day yesterday. A few other things happened, but in the main it was a terrific day. So thanks for listening, and we'll be back.